Coming up next on Scrapbook. Put on your button and have your tickets ready. It's time to fringe. Orlando's big arts party takes center stage at Lock Haven Park. Producers, artists, and volunteers share what it's like to be a part of the oldest fringe festival in the country. The founder of the Orlando International Fringe Festival reflects on bringing the fringe to Central Florida. And all hail the Queen. Producing artistic director Beth Marshall has worn many hats during her years with the Fringe, but there's one more title she wants to claim: the Oprah of the Fringe Festivals. Are you ready for a journey into Central Florida's history? Then join me as we turn the pages of Scrapbook. Hello, I'm Carol Barnes, and welcome to Scrapbook. Central Florida has a very young history with the arts. Before Disney, there were few theatrical productions or dance events to attend, but one event changed the face of the Orlando art scene and put our young town in the global spotlight for years to come. In our feature story, the Orlando International Fringe Festival brings together the young and the old, the creative and the crazy, and the fabulous fans of the arts.
The Fringe is 12 days of theater, art, music, dance, and madness.
It's a place where people can do whatever they want to do.
It's a great time to get to know people and to make friends.
Theater, dance, music, excitement.
100% non-juried, 100% uncensored.
It's an experience that you will really enjoy.
Great vibes, fantastic atmosphere.
And you get all the money back that you put into it. That's accounting that your show is a quality show.
There's nothing like it in Orlando.
It's the happiest time of the year for me.
The Orlando International Fringe Theater Festival brings artists and patrons together to celebrate the arts. For 12 days, a button and a ticket gives you access to over 500 performances. Drama, art, dance, music, and madness fills the theaters of Orlando's Lock Haven Park for 12 festive days of pure, uncensored artistic expression. The Fringe Festival began in Scotland in 1947. Groups who were not invited to participate in the Edinburgh Festival of the Arts decided to create their own performances. These productions were staged outside of the festival boundaries and became known as the Fringe. Fringe festivals eventually crossed the waters and spread to other countries, making a big splash in cities all over Canada and eventually in the United States. In the early 80s, a growing number of Orlando theater venues and companies started to take shape. A group of artists from Sax Comedy Theatre decided to take their show to the Edinburgh Fringe Festival. The energy from Scotland would have a major impact on what would happen next in Central Florida.
In 1982, I was managing SAC Theatre. A few years later, we took the first SAC troupe to the Fringe Festival in Edinburgh, Scotland. The city was alive with all kinds of exciting performances, a lot of new work, people performing from their passion. 3 of us began exploring the idea of starting a Fringe Festival. A couple of us went to a meeting of all the producers of all the Canadian Fringe Festivals, and they're like, yeah, go for it, you know all these performers, and we're thinking about spring, and this was like November, and we're thinking, well, maybe in a year or two, and they're like, nah, do it right now. So we jumped right in like in November and produced a Fringe Festival in April.
In 1992, the Orlando International Fringe Theater Festival made its debut. Terry Olson and his partners felt the time was right for a single event that could bring together everyone, from performers to patrons, for a celebration of the arts.
When I moved here in 1982, there wasn't a lot of arts. I had season tickets to everything that in every genre of arts that could exist, and it was easy to attend them all. There's no way I could do that now. The theme parks had started to bring artists here trained from in theater, music, dance. So there was starting to be a base of educated people. UCF's program was growing, and so it was starting to educate more trained artists. And the Fringe Festival was a third element that really, for a theater community, really opened people's eyes to, hey, I don't have to just wait until the Civic Theater decides to do a play I want to be in and then try to be in it. I could do something on my own. I could produce it. Because that's what the Fringe Festival is about, an easy access for people to produce what their heart's desire is.
In the early years, the Fringe Festival was held in the heart of the City Beautiful, downtown Orlando.
It was a lot of sleepless nights. At the time, there were plenty of empty spaces in downtown Orlando, so we had 4 venues, and they were all within 1 block. Which was very fun because then we were able to secure these big air tubes of color, and so from the central stage on the street, you could follow the green tube to the green venue, the red tube to the red venue. It really made a splash in downtown Orlando. We had specific targets for whatever kind of fracture part of the community we could think of, ethnically, sociologically, philosophical, different parts of the community, to try to make sure there's something for everybody, and that those people would be standing in line together, talking about what did you see and why'd you like it, and it would bring the community together.
It was a desperate cultural need at the time and still remains so. When I started with the festival in '97 as a beer tent volunteer, I was downtown at the History Center, and that's where our beer tent was. And our venues varied yearly based on availability and permitting, licensing, what was still even in downtown Orlando at that time.
For 12 years, the Fringe Festival was raw theater, literally. Vacant stores in downtown Orlando were not always in the best condition. Borrowed pipe and drape, rented lights, and little air conditioning made for a gritty theatrical experience. This young organization was showing signs of puberty, and it was time to grow up.
In 2004, we moved the festival in part to Lock Haven Park.
We wanted to be able to use real theater spaces for our artists. We are one of the few Fringe festivals that operate in real live theaters. I think our artists love the fact that they are able to use real stages that makes theater so amazing.
It gives us an affordable place to produce our show. There is no other place in town that Voci could afford to have 7 shows in a nice theater and have someone help us with our advertising. And that's true of Voci, of many small regional theater companies in town.
Being there is great for the artist because they're able to have dressing rooms, storage, air-conditioned venues, and for the community, it's a known location that stays the same, that is completely centralized in walking distance from each venue, and safe.
We've just grown so much from going from this little storefront kind of guerrilla theater group to now something that is really a major piece of the arts in Central Florida, and actually in Florida, because we are one of the largest theater festivals in the Southeast.
Fringe patrons can choose from a multitude of shows, from the cool to the crazy, from whimsical to wacky. There's more than enough variety for your artistic tastes.
We have so many great groups. You can go from seeing a comedy routine to then seeing a dance routine and then going and seeing something really that's weird or that people might think is weird, but other people like me who like weird things love that.
Like going to a farmer's market as opposed to a supermarket, you can find that jalapeno jelly that isn't a commercial product.
We know it's uncensored and unjuried for our artists' work, but I like to think of it that it's that way for our patrons too, that anyone could come, anyone could find something they could enjoy, anyone could find something to see that they could afford.
The whole purpose of the festival originally was so that emerging artists would have an opportunity to perform works that they otherwise never would have an opportunity to perform.
So who puts on a show at the Fringe? since the applicants are selected by a lottery process, it can be, well, anyone.
Since we're an unjuried festival, it's not like myself or my board of directors is sitting there determining which groups get in based on the quality of their work or who they are or how long they've been in the business or anything like that. So it gives any new artist the opportunity to come in, play with a mix of A-list players, B-list players.
I think Fringe also is so important to our community in the sense that national and international companies are coming in and showing their work. So again, Orlando is being exposed to something that may not come through our town.
There are plenty of offerings for general and kid-friendly audiences. There's even a free kids fringe with crafts and interactive shows for the younger fans of the arts. In between the shows, patrons can also enjoy local and international artwork at the Visual Fringe.
There's something for everyone at Visual Fringe. We have photography, painting, sculpture and ceramic, collage, drawing, installation, just about everything. The Visual Fringe definitely provides a venue for artists of all types, including established artists and also the emerging artists, and sometimes it's their very first show. It's definitely a place where they can experiment.
For visual artists, the Fringe presents a rare opportunity to interact with their audience.
When I do live art, I'm all about discussion. And I think it's really great for them too, for customers or for people that are, just expecting theater, and then they get here and they get to see someone creating art, or they get to sit down and talk to people creating it.
It's great exposure. You can talk and people are very, very interested, and it gives different perspective and they really want to know. I used to have problems with this. I didn't like to talk about but now I enjoy it because I see people, they need it, they really need it, they like it.
Another aspect I love is the fact that all the artwork is for sale. And I love being able to tell an artist, you sold your work, because it's just like Christmas or Hanukkah.
From performers to painters, the artists are the greatest beneficiaries of the Fringe's success. The festival offers the liberty to create whatever their arts desire.
Give me a soft focus, would you? I got creases in their laugh lines. The wonderful thing about a Fringe Festival, and I think some people forget, it's a place where you can take risks. You can take an idea that you have in your brain, and you may think to yourself, this is a stupid idea, and maybe it is. But you're allowed to bring your stupid idea to the Fringe, put it on a stage for very cheap. Many people come to the show and you get to be creative. That's what the Fringe offers. It's a good place to take a creative risk.
The Orlando Fringe Festival attracts thousands of visitors to Lock Haven Park. Add the artists, vendors, props, sets, and costumes into the mix, and you have a pretty big operation for a mere 12 days. Coming up next, the volunteers of the Fringe have a big role to play, and they do it with lots of spirit and dedication. And Beth Marshall tells us why she believes her destiny is to become the Oprah of all the Fringe festivals.